Welcome to another episode of Boys Don't Cry with Umer Khan. Today's episode, this I'm recording for the second time. I recorded a first draft. Absolutely did not like it. I failed miserably, but I learned from that experience. It was about 39 minutes long. I recorded it. I went through that. I did not like it. And I decided, you know what, let me take some input and then let me work on it. And then about an hour later, I'm back recording it again. So, welcome to another episode of Boys Don't Cry, where today's topic is fear of failure. Yes. Before we jump into our topic today, I want you to watch this video clip. And I recorded this video clip for one of my other channels. And I was covering a trunk show here in Dallas. And I just happened to speak with this young man. Just wanted to get some thoughts on his experience at that trunk show, at that expo where he was with his parents. So I just briefed him for a few minutes. He was apprehensive at first. I briefed him for a few minutes, told him my first question, and that we're going to take it from there. It was going to be recorded, so he didn't have to worry about anything. If he didn't like anything, I would just drop it all together and edit it accordingly. And based on those few minutes of briefing and prep, take a look at this video, take a look at his confidence. He might have thought, okay, what if I don't do well? But he still went ahead with that. And am I glad he went ahead with that? Because the end product, does he look scared? Does he look shy? Does he look apprehensive about anything? No. You see for yourself. And then we'll start with our topic today. So let's speak with this young man. Let's start with your name, please.
My name is Zarak. Zarak Kazi.
Zarak.
Yes.
Very nice name. Zarak Kazi. My goodness, I love that name, Zarak. All right, so tell me, Zarak, who are you here with? Family, friends?
I'm here with my mom, and I'm shopping.
All right, what did you get? Did you like something?
Yes, I shop with Eid clothes, and I got it from here.
Oh, wow. So Humayun Alamgir you got. Okay, that is amazing. So is this for Eid?
Yes, this is the Eid shop.
All right, looking forward to that, huh? Eid's around the corner. And anything in specific that you liked about this whole thing?
I love how there's a lot of people shopping here, and that shows that it's like really upgoing, and because I've been to shows in the past, and I think this place is improving, and based on the amount of people here, it looks like a good show.
Fantastic. Well, Zarak, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. We're going to break it down into 4 different parts of the conversation. And first part really is manifestation of this fear of failure. And why did I want to talk about this? Briefly, I see so many adults not wanting to do something, but not going through with that because what if I fail? Stakes are too high for me to fail. I cannot afford failure. Even kids, even school-going kids, college-going kids, Gen Z, Gen A even. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I don't do well? What if I stutter? What if I don't present it properly? What if I don't raise my hand properly? What if my teacher does not like it? So many what ifs. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this. So starting with manifestation of this fear of failure. How does it come across? One example, you ask, let's say a high schooler to do something. Well, I don't want to do it. Why not? What if I don't do it right? You're not going to get that answer in first go. It's going to take you a while to get to that point because first it's going to be, well, I don't know, because I don't know, like maybe typical Gen Z, Gen A behavior, Gen Z mostly. And once you get to a point, you're going to find out, well, what if I fail? What if I don't do well? Hesitation in context of doing something. Let's say I want to start a business. but I'm just too hesitant. I'm too scared. Well, it requires a lot of capital. Well, yes, it does require a lot of capital. Well, that's what business loans are for. But then someone else from the community is going to come in. Well, why do you want to start a business? So, so and so started a business and so failed. This is the percentage of businesses that fail within first 2 years. So people come to you and share those negative results to intimidate you, to discourage you. Fear of failure manifesting in shape of people, peer pressure. Let's say a group of friends wants to start a coffee place or a grocery store. We don't know. There are so many grocery stores around us. Should we really start a grocery store? It takes easily $500,000 to start a grocery store. What if we fail? What if it does not work? Inherent limitations. Yes, it will take capital. Yes, there are business loans. Yes, there are small business loans, investment loans that one can take, but fear of failing coming from within the circle of people that you know. Well, I cannot afford to not be on my job and still cannot afford to have a job and still spend the rest of the time in the business. Well, to be able to start a business, to be able to have a business succeed, you're going to have to spend some time away from people, right? Always goes long way. So manifestation of this fear of failure, sometimes it can be in form of just a total shutdown whenever a certain topic comes up. Absolute shutdown. Well, I don't want to talk about it. Why? Because I don't want to talk about it. But why? I want to know the reason. Well, um, is it not my option? Is it not my choice? Well, it is. So I just want to talk about it. Maybe the reason I don't want to talk about it is due to certain fears that are related to us not doing well in context of this venture that we are trying to think about. Maybe that is what it is. So manifestation, it can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be physical. Fear, manifestation of failure, not even trying to do something at all. Even it can come across as not even liking something. You want to do something, you want to try out, let's say for a tennis team, deep down you want to try out, but you just start saying, "Oh, I don't even like tennis." Why? Because if I'm going to start saying I don't even like tennis, no one's going to expect me to try out for the team, let alone no one's going to expect me to make it into the team, or no one's going to have the opportunity to make fun of me when I don't make it in the team. So I'm just going to start saying, well, I don't even like tennis. So different ways this fear of failure manifests, not just in school going kids, college going kids, adults, mature adults, professionals. Happens all the time. I don't like PowerPoint presentations. PowerPoint and me, we just don't blend well. Well, the reason I'm saying that is so I don't have to prepare PowerPoint presentations, or let's talk about something contemporary, AI. Well, I don't use Copilot, I don't use ChatGPT or Claude. Um, I don't like AI. Well, the reason I'm saying that is I don't know how to use these tools because I don't know how to improve my workmanship when I use these tools. So what I'm going to start saying is I don't even like these tools. So instead of spending some time every day, let's say 30 minutes, trying to work with Copilot or ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or Grok, whatever the case be, instead of spending 30 minutes every day, I'm just going to start saying, oh, I don't even like AI. Different ways this manifests. How to work through this is the next stage. Now, this is very interesting because almost every problem situation, we can utilize this next step. I just was feeling like making chai and I made chai. So working through this, once we have a symptom is, well, I don't like AI. Let's stick to this. I don't like AI. I don't like AI tools. All right. What do you not like about AI? So we want to identify the symptom, and then we want to work our way backwards in terms of translating that symptom into a root cause. So I don't like AI tools. Well, why do you not like AI tools? Let's start with the specific tools. Which AI tools do you not like? Well, I don't like Copilot. Why do you not like Copilot? Well, it's too difficult. Why do you think it's too difficult? Well, it asks me for specific details that I have to enter. I cannot just ask a question and it give me an answer. Okay, can you give an example? Well, I asked it to give me a list of new Middle Eastern restaurants in Dallas Fort Worth, and it gave me a list based on Google reviews. Okay, so what do you not like about that? Well, it gave me so much information. Did you try to shortlist or narrow that information down? No, I didn't have time. Okay. So we worked our way from I don't like AI tools to I don't have time to spend on narrowing down the list. You see how we work our way from a symptom to a solution, to a root cause, actually, not a solution, root cause. I stand corrected there. So this root cause analysis, we can work in any walk of life, not just in professional capacity, even in our personal lives. We can utilize this. Walking from symptom identification to root cause analysis. And once we have root cause, then we restate that problem. Okay, so the problem is not that you hate AI tools. The problem is you do not want to or you don't have time to spend in narrowing down your search. Now, another question we may ask is, okay, why do you think you don't have 30 minutes to define the search? Is it a matter of I don't know how to define the search, how to define my prompts, or is it a matter of I don't want to invest 30 minutes of my time daily? Which one is that? Because depending on the answer of this, there are two different approaches. If you say I don't have 30 minutes daily, then that is a time management problem. But if you say I don't know how to take care of my prompts, now that is a prompting issue, which we will only get better as we use AI tools more and more and more. So you see, different problems require different set of solutions. One requires time dedication, the other one requires excessive prompt practice. So we started with manifestation of fear, can be physical, can be emotional, can be psychological, can be mental. We move over to working through root cause analysis, moving from symptom identification to root cause analysis, identifying the actual problem. And then coming down to the solution part of this. Now, this is the kicker, actually. How do we normalize failure? Should we even say that? Am I even allowed to say, how do we normalize failure? A lot of people are going to disagree. A lot of folks from subcontinent are going to disagree because that is the culture that I have seen that we have grown up with. Oh, no, 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 no. You cannot normalize failure. Failure is a bad thing. Now, one thing, big difference, massive difference. If you happen to go through any leadership training and you compare the two leadership styles, one, let's say, in the subcontinent, let's say, I'm going to stick to Pakistan because I am from Pakistan, so I'm going to stick to that. I can use that example. The other one, let's say here in the West. A big, big difference in grooming those leaders is our Desi Pakistani subcontinental style does not embrace failure as a means of learning from it, where our Western style of leadership builds on the fact that you don't know everything, that we don't know everything. Good leaders don't necessarily have to know everything. They rely on knowledge workers who do the work, and leaders make the decisions. There is a chain of command, there is succession planning, there is responsibility levels. So that is a big difference. So, how do we embrace failure? How do we normalize failure? We talk about it. We normalize it as a part of learning process. Well, if you're going to fail the first time, all right, what did you learn from this failure? The first question needs to be anytime there is any kind of failure in life, right from your son who's just trying to walk, but he falls, or daughter, all right, what happened? Why do you think you fell? Ask them. Don't do baby talk. No, actual talk. And ask them, why do you think you fell? They may say in their baby language, well, because I tripped. All right, okay, how can we not trip? Do you need help? So you want to normalize, okay, what did you learn from this failure? A new person joined your ranks, your team. You are getting them through knowledge transfer on something. You tell them you're going to fail way more times than you're going to succeed. So the key is to learn from every failed experience. What did you learn? How can you improve? How can you apply that lesson into your next set of deliverables? That is the biggest key. How can we learn from this failure? And also, having an unsuccessful time period does not mean we failed. All it means is the goals that we set for ourselves, we did not hit those goals if there were any numeric goals or quantitative goals, even if there were qualitative goals. It just happens that we did not hit those goals. Does not mean we're a failure. Yes, we did not check 3 boxes that we set for ourselves as goals for the quarter, but it wasn't failure because we learned something along the way. In terms of executing our tasks, we learned something along the way. How can we learn from our failures is when we are setting our goals, we want to set, in very basic terms, certain objectives. My goal is to read more books in 2026. That is an overarching objective. Now, I want to divide that objective into key results. Well, my key result means you have a measurable SMART goal for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Simple. I want to finish 1 book per month for 2026. That's it. Keep it simple. Make it simple for yourself. Learning from failure and then translating that failure into behavior-driven process. I want to read 1 book a month. Now, how am I going to do that? I want to dedicate 1 hour a day for reading. That is the behavior I want to focus on. Because if I focus on that behavior, then I will finish a book in a month, depending on how big the book is. You start small, baby steps. So, learning from failure, establishing objectives and goals, and then translating those goals into behaviors, because it is the behaviors that translate into numbers, and numbers translate into success. And once success becomes repetitive, it becomes a habit. And when winning becomes a habit, alhamdulillah, life is good. And all that happens by the will of Allah Ta'ala. I want to bring in some context here. And that context includes the word of Allah. Now, Surah An-Najm, which is Surah number 53, verse number 39, that each person will only have what they endeavor towards. The literal word is to try, to strive for. So even Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, this is 53:39 in the Quran, and each person will have what they strive for. So if we continuously stay scared of failing, we're only going to fail. I mean, I'm reading this directly from Quran. And each person will only have what they strive for, endeavor for. So if I'm going to go for the gold, if I'm going to set my behaviors for gold, there's no way in hell I'm not going to get gold unless Allah Ta'ala's plan is for me to not get gold despite my best efforts. I have to focus on my behaviors. And then another verse, that is Surah Al Imran, Surah number 3, verse number 159. Just a part of that verse is, and consult with them in conducting matters. And once you make a decision, put your trust in Allah Ta'ala. So once you have made a decision, after all your consultation and agreements and conversations and suggestions with friends and family, then you move forward with your absolute faith in Allah Ta'ala. And even then, if you fail, then that failure is part of your learning process. And remember, you fall back on, all right, what did I learn from this failure? How can I turn this failure into root cause analysis? What happened? What were the behaviors that I missed? How can I implement the right behaviors? So really, bringing it all together, fear of failure is nothing but our hesitation towards something that we have not thought about, something that we do not want to plan for, something that we are scared of because the outcome of that is beyond our comprehension, because we don't see ourselves being able to deliver that. I want to bring this home by asking you, what is that one thing that holds you back in your personal life, in your professional life? That one thing that you're afraid of. What is your fear of what failure in your life? And what is holding you back in terms of moving forward? I do want to hear from you. Please do share that in comments. And if we go back to the video I played of that young man at one of the expos that I met, look at that smile, look at the confidence, look at the calm and the composure of that kid. He had no idea how to talk in a camera based on a few minutes of briefing, based on a calm demeanor, based on if it goes wrong, you can edit it. And what's the worst that'll happen? He did it. It shows in his smile, it shows in his eye contact with the camera, it shows in his calm posture, confident posture, standing in front of the camera, and you can see. So if a 12-year-old facing a camera in an expo can do that, there's no way that any one of us cannot do anything that we want to do or strive to do in life. Drop your thoughts and comments. And if this resonates with you, share this with a brother, a father, a friend, a colleague, a neighbor. Because for all we know, who needs it at what point in their life? And if this one episode can help even one person, well, my job is done then. So till next, from this fear of failure episode of Boys Don't Cry, take very good care of yourselves. This is Umar Khan signing off.